I have a friend who told me today a monkey can run Google Ads. So I don't know. We got to get some monkeys to do some testing.
How reinforcement learning is working. You are trying 100 possibilities to solve a problem, and you're just throwing away 7 of it, and you're just keeping 3 that actually will satisfy the reward signal.
I'm willing to make 100% bet here that the people that built this have at least 8 years in Call of Duty experience.
You also have a minimap on the left. That's crazy. Exactly like in the video games.
Welcome to Watch Out for AGI podcast, your go-to podcast for the latest in AI. We dive into cutting-edge models, news, and products with insights from developers and creators worldwide. AI evolves fast, and we are here to keep you informed. So whether you're coding, building, or just curious about AI, stick with us to stay ahead of the game. This is Watch Out for AGI. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Watch Out podcast, our 4th episode of season 2, I believe. We're not counting anymore in the total episodes. We are now a season podcast. Coming to you here from Paris with my new background. I'm in my new podcast studio here, and Emrick still in New York.
Yeah, still in New York.
First of all, how is it in New York? And second of all, how is it in AI New York?
I mean, New York is always great. I personally find it's the best city in the world. And in AI New York, it's really, really hot as well. I love to send to everybody that metric that the number of unicorns in SF and New York is almost the same. So actually, there's a lot of work being done in New York in AI. It's really different. So New York, it's more like actually grounded AI, like in real economy. And in SF, it's more like developer tools, stuff like this. An amazing place, to be honest, to be.
Well, yeah, I can't say the same here. I have not really met that many cool projects, but I need to go out a bit more. Actually, Emrick, I wanted to know, are you going into any events, any known events in AI that our viewers should know about? Do you have anything planned this year?
I had, honestly, I would say like 3 months ago, I was going into a lot of events, but I'm trying to lock in a little bit more recently. I'm actually trying to like just put my head in the code more. So I'm not going to much events.
So let's get to AI news of the week. This week, there were a few releases, actually. The biggest release that is making a lot of noise, Haiku 4.5. We haven't heard about Haiku in a while. I believe that before 4.5, Haiku was a 3.5. There was no Haiku 4.
Yeah,
Am I right on that one?
You're totally right.
Let's go straight to the thing that's making everybody scream. Haiku 4.5 has great performance. It is spectacular performance, especially in software engineering. We're seeing better performance with Haiku 4.5 than Sonnet 4, which I just don't know. It's mind-boggling here. It's close to, well, it's better than GPT-5. It's between GPT-5 and GPT-5 Codex. What does this mean, actually? It's a smaller model, right? Does that mean that you can replace Sonnet 4 with Haiku 4.5, Emrick?
So you need to test empirically because for now I'm struggling to find from experience actual people replacing it totally. I think you can try, but the problem is sometimes the cognitive power of these models are not as good that the benchmark make it looks like they are. And I still think this benchmark is really good because SwiBench, we both really always look at SwiBench benchmarks. I would be cautious. I would be cautious because I think this model probably has less context and probably can solve a less wide amount of problems that Sonnet could. I still need to empirically test. The good thing about Haiku is Claude Code. You're still using Claude Code, I'm still using Claude Code, and Claude Code will be vastly improved by the release of this Haiku 4.5 because Claude Code is using a lot of Haiku under the hood. For all the small tasks, it's using Haiku. So if you can just increase the IQ of the LLM on all the small tasks that we are using, I think we were going to get like an amazing boost for our software engineering task. I'm seeing it more like this, more Haiku for being the glue between the actual high IQ task that the LLM would do.
What I'm seeing here in Haiku is that you have the context awareness that is available in Haiku 4.5. Do you know anything about what context awareness is?
No, actually, no, I do not. I do not.
So we talked about this at some point, Emrick, about the model knowing its capabilities. So context awareness it enables the model to track its remaining context window throughout the conversation. If the context is small, it will be aware of that and it will summarize a bit more often, I would say. So this doesn't tell us what is the context window here, but it has that capability. It's able to read what is available in terms of context
Yeah,
for the next tasks.
I'm actually on the Claude Haiku system card, the 4.5, and you're actually right. Like what you're saying is actually shared by Anthropic, exactly
Yes.
how you explained it.
No, absolutely. And I think that makes it a very capable model for agentic workflows. And what I'm seeing here is if I go to Cursor, I think it's free. I think it's free.
It's possible for now, yeah, because they probably want to advertise the model.
No, I think it's free. I think it's so cheap that it's free. It's part of the plan.
Wow. What is actually impressive, to be honest. Like that's a way bigger deal than I thought.
That's what I was thinking. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. That's why I was asking you is, look, we've been paying a very high price per token to have the Claude excellence, right?
Yeah.
And that has been going on for a while. We've been using Sonnet 3, Sonnet 3.5, Sonnet 3.7, Sonnet 4, Sonnet 4.5, cascadingly with maybe a few times where ChatGPT Codex comes above and takes the scene for 2 weeks where we're like, okay, this is worth it. I don't know. But then we all go to Sonnet again, right?
Yeah.
And this is a real question, right? If you're not doing massive changes in your code base and you're running a quick change where you need it to be good at the task, but it's not about planning, right? Can you replace Sonnet with Haiku? That's my question here, because this will enable a lot of people to do a lot of work for a fraction. Well, a fraction, maybe for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, you're saying, I think you absolutely can. You absolutely can replace. If you look at the full graph here, you see that on the top thing that's interesting to you, like specifically agentic coding, clearly Haiku 4.5 is better than Sonnet 4. It's in the benchmark. The only thing I see is that actually everything that is under here, this line, so graduate level reasoning, multilingual Q&A, visual reasoning. So all of this might be more of a problem because it's worse than Sonnet. It's anything that actually requires some understanding of why you're doing things. As an example, when I do prompt myself, I do prompt really poorly. I just say, do this, do X, do Y, do Z. And I always expect Claude and be able to understand the underlying reason why I asked this. And I just do think that Haiku has just a worse IQ. Like, Haiku is like just a really, really good, super applied junior, while Sonnet would be probably just the beginning of a senior, probably, maybe.
So if you're building an agent here, let's say that you're not going with Claude Code, which probably is hard to beat because they have optimized their workflows. They have the whole control here of what models to use, etc. But let's say that you have Opus is able to do master planning. You have Sonnet, which is able to do small planning. And this is the guy that you send out to, okay, fix this file. Fix this file.
You would ask Haiku, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Emrick, I think that Claude Code integrates this immediately. This is something that I've been seeing. When I've been doing code changes recently, things have been extremely fast. What I mean extremely fast, I'm talking about quasi simultaneous. I think it's even capable of running asynchronously 5 file changes.
That's amazing.
Now.
That's amazing.
So let's say that we're changing a file that has the same log, right? The same log statement, and you want to add information to a log statement that is used 5 times in the file. This is something I saw. It changed all 5 of them simultaneously with 5 calls. Instead of sending the entire file with a rewrite, it was...
Yeah, as you said, probably using Haiku, yeah. For such a small task, it's probably using Haiku.
Exactly. So what is happening is, I am not a Anthropic engineer here, but I know 2 or 3 things about how these work. You send in the system prompt at the top. You send in what the LLM must do below, which is the same for all of them. And then you would have a grep where you would take a piece above and a piece below of the code, and you need and fill in the code here. It's basically a fill in the middle, which is the fastest way and the most efficient way. This is how you get such high scores in Sweetbench. It's because you have a fill in the middle. It's very, very difficult to mess up on that. So it's able to run these fill in the middle asynchronously 5 times, and your file is fixed in 2 seconds. Instead of running a sonnet that would go over the file and cost you $1 for the file. I mean, I'm just joking here, $1, but you get what I mean. The cost of doing it's about being efficient. It's about using the right model in the efficient way of using it. Also, the cost of the number of tokens sent is way smaller.
Yeah.
Your context, you can fit it all in the Haiku, and then you're running this asynchronously with small little Haiku calls for the applying your Sonnet brain or your Opus brain. I think that this is what's going on. I don't want to say things before I try them. I'm just saying I think that in Claude right now they have this, and I think you might be able to do, if you give the model enough hints in cursor, you'll be able to get your job done for free. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's just probably will be harder to optimize as much as Claude Code, I think, because as you said, they probably like know exactly when to use which model. And in Cursor, you're just gonna do this routing efficiently. I guess you just have to choose one or another.
Hey, but that is what we were trying to season 1. All of season 1 was about who is going to make the money, the wrapper or the model. Now, the thing is that when you bring down the costs of the model, and when things become quasi free here,
Yeah.
the wrapper is the one that's going to win. So Claude Code, they built the wrapper for their model. Since their model, they're not going to make that much money on this Haiku model. The wrapper is the moneymaker here.
I mean, that sounds amazing. You're pitching it perfectly. I will re-enable my Claude Code subscription and use it for the next month, actually. So I will be able to give a better feedback. It's just so bad that you remember GPT-5 came with Codex and we were all like, oh my God, Codex is the best. And like the day after Claude released something, I'm just wondering sometimes if they have something in the pipe and they are just releasing when they really need it. The graph of subscribers is going down. They just released something that they had in the pipe. I don't know. It's a really interesting timing.
I would say also one thing is that these guys, apparently they all know each other, right? They talk to each other and they test their models between each other. And especially the people that are big fans of AI security, they're scared. They're scared about releasing something out there that has flaws. And so I do know that they talk to each other to test their models. And they know that something is coming in the pipes. I think that OpenAI knows that Sonnet has a model. They know it's better. Sonnet knows that ChatGPT 5 is coming out. Yeah, I think that they might already have the releases planned, and they know between each other like where they are in their pipeline. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose to release at the same time. I don't think that they're in competition, actually. Like we said before, they're targeting different markets here, and the bet is enterprise against non-enterprise. That is the bet. And I think that they're not competing against each other directly, so it's not such a threat for them.
Yeah. Basically, I have nothing else to add. You presented it perfectly.
So yeah, Haiku 4.5, give it. I think everybody should give it a try. It's a free model for the moment in Cursor, so try that one out. Use it in your flows if ever you're building a coding app. I think that it has great capabilities, and let's see if it's actually great game changer or if it's just a good addition.
It's a nice addition.
Yeah, I think so, because if you got Claude Code, I mean, if they're routing you to Sonnet, then there's a reason why you're using Sonnet. Moving on to a video model. We haven't talked about video since Sora, but before Sora, we haven't talked about video models in quite a bit of time. So we have VO 3.1 that has arrived. So VO 3.1 is the new VO model from Google. It already was a banger. Everybody knows that Google is well in advance when it comes to high quality video that keeps context, that looks pretty accurate, pretty damn close to reality. So 3.1, what does it bring to us? I saw a few things in Twitter that really make this a game changer for the creatives. What I saw was ingredients. So here you can edit your ingredients and videos with more precision. So you can insert to any scene a new element. So let's say that you have this scene here where, let's see what they have to show us here. So you can remove pieces of a video. You can add to a video. You can change granularly what you want. So I think that has a lot of value if you're a creator.
Yeah. That's basically I think Vio right now, because they got this initial lead, they probably were used by like actual professionals, and they are leaning to give tools to professionals. I guess if you're actually creating a movie with Vio, you would love to be able to add specific like things into the image or just removing. It seems like a normal tool that should exist. And yeah, I think right now, I don't know. I try to reuse because basically you and I, we are doing a lot of Sora 2 clips. We're creating so much recently. The app is really good. Honestly, they did a great job. But you clearly see the difference. So the quality of the clips you can get from Vio is usually way higher. Just thinking about the pixel density is just way higher. But there is also a problem. Sora is amazing to be, this garbage thing that you can find on the social networks, like this garbage clip that you can get. It's actually working well. Though the video clips, they do not look that much. They always look a little bit like crafted, a little bit like you were looking at a Pixar movie. And I just think Sora is really good for low quality social networks clips, though Vio could be used, I think, for movie creation at that point. So it seems like right now, maybe it won't in the future, maybe Google will come back, but it seems like it's just for two different audience. Like the two model are just for two different type of audience.
Yeah, Sora
Right.
is for a different audience, I believe, right? It's more social, it's more funny. It's not. I can tell you one thing is that there is a look and feel to Sora.
Yeah.
You kind of know that you're watching some bullshit. And the thing about VO is it's scary how close it is to reality, you know? Look at this. This is the composer, which allows you to build a video from images. It's pretty impressive. It finds a way to build the video, including those two images. It's quite impressive. So you have this girl, and then the camera pans to the cactus. Wow.
But it's always like this. Google is basically doing like really amazing technologies, but they are not so good at marketing it. And sometimes OpenAI might have like maybe worse solutions, but they are so good at marketing it. Like they are so good at B2C, OpenAI. So it's funny because here you find like probably features that OpenAI would love to have in Sora. And I just think they don't care yet. Actually, I wanted to talk about it, but Sora also, I was really impressed. They released, I think, 2 weeks ago, and they already have new features. So they already, it's on the best article, it's on techready.com, but they already allow free user to generate 15 seconds Sora 2 video, and the pro user can go to 25 seconds and have access to, so Google also has something called Flow, and Flow allows exactly to do what we saw in the previous video. If I come back here, I think it's this one. You can choose the first image and the last image, and you can like compose a shot that way. I think this exists for like already like honestly months in Google, but OpenAI also introduced it. And I think that there's this competition of like the first audience of just like pure trash clips on Sora, and then like to do movie creation. I think Google has a lead for movie creation.
Yeah, absolutely. But when it comes to Sora now, Sora has a new way of generating, right? So you can go 25 seconds. What do you think is behind what is behind this technology? How do you think they are getting this length here? And do you think that the consistency will drop?
Yeah, I do think to get that fast of an improvement, they probably did a quick and dirty solution because right now on Sora, you can start a video generation from a shot. So let's just say you do your first generation, and then you take the last shot of the generation, and then you create a second one. Clearly, you might find a problem with like just your subject. Your main subject will probably change his face, so it won't be consistent. But not gonna lie, it's already happening right now in Sora. Often we add our faces in the Soras, and our face sometimes look like somebody else. So the consistency is already not good from the same shot. I guess stitching a second shot is probably even worse. And you can also see it. Free user can now generate 15 seconds Sora 2 video. Actually, I'm not sure. Because I was going to say it's 8 seconds, but I think Sora supports by default and always supported 10 seconds. So it would be theoretically, if it was just stitching, it would be 10 and then 20 and then 30 for pros. But maybe they did some beta testing internally and they have noticed that the consistency drops too much in the last 5 seconds of the second clip that is stitched. So that's why they maybe just limited to 15.
So how long is the default? It's 10 seconds?
I
Or
think it's
how
10.
long is...
I think it's 10 seconds. And
It's not enough for a lot of my storylines, to be honest. I have been having a lot of... This is very weird thing in Sora where you would write something, it starts the scene, and then the part that you really wanted is cut. So the person says the thing that you wanted that was funny. He starts saying it when it stops. It's very strange.
Actually, I don't know. We see sometimes on Sora this kind of amazing creators and they have such a specific prompt, like they do this dash, I don't know, setup of the scene, mood of the scene, aspect ratio. I don't know if there is still right now a good way of prompting Sora, or a known good way. What are you doing? Because I saw that sometimes some of your creations are actually really well defined. Are you just prompting it in ChatGPT?
I feel like it's very random. I have done prompting from GPT. I have done writing it myself. I usually dictate. So I take my phone and I dictate what I want to see. That also helps a lot. The prompts from GPT seem to... I can tell you one thing. I think that if the answer is, does GPT know how to create an optimized prompt for Sora? No.
I don't think so, yeah.
No,
It's
it doesn't
probably
know.
just what he thinks would be good for Sora, but it's not really connected.
Yeah. But there's no environment of GPT where it knows about the other products here. Sora just came out. ChatGPT 5 is not aware of how to do this, and it was not trained in the model, and it gives you descriptions that generate absolute shit in some cases. I get, I don't know if it's like a random thing, but sometimes my videos are just images with noise. And even though I gave a very descriptive prompt, it did not generate anything good. So I think it's pretty random, and I don't know. I'm wondering actually if ChatGPT is not learning. There's a way to learn if your video did well. Very simple. It's a categorization that they're doing here. I don't know if they're using it, but I bet you they are. Very simple. What do you think? When you put in your prompt, you send it off, it generates the video, and then it goes into your draft. If you publish your draft, that means it was a good video. If you don't publish a draft, that means it was a shit video. I think that's a very good way of categorizing videos. They're doing a very good job there. It's very subtle. What do you think?
So what's the difference? You mean like all the garbage videos won't be ever seen because they stay in the draft? That's what you're saying?
I think so. If it's shit, why would you post it on your...
Me, I'm just posting every shit I'm creating. Maybe I'm stupid, but I'm just posting everything because I think everything is interesting.
No, yeah, but
the are interesting.
Not the ones that are just images, you know?
It's also interesting. That was the first time for me in a video model that you prompt a video model and it should return you this sort of like slide. Like it's a Google slide and like the character is moving like a PNG moving. So weird. I've never seen this in a video model.
Yeah. So actually, moving on now, actually, I have some surprise addition to our list, but I wanted to talk about it a bit. Did you know that Claude has now skills? Have you heard of the Claude skills?
I haven't actually interested about this. What is it about?
All right. You can create skills in Claude code. So how do you create a skill? You build a skill in a folder with skill.md, right? It's a YAML metadata like name, description, and instructions form, okay? So the invocation is auto-triggered. That means that it is scanning the metadata and it loads the relevant files and scripts that allow it to have that skill, right? and it allows it to do complex tasks. And these skills, you can drop them, I think, anywhere in your project. So it's the benefits are it's faster and cheaper, it's efficient loading, so it avoids context bloat, it boosts consistency, automation in workflows like Excel analysis or doc creation. It enables unbounded context with code execution. So these are interesting. You don't load them into the context. They're mini MCP like capabilities.
Yeah, they didn't call it MCP. I think it's great.
It's interesting. What do you think about having little pieces of MCP, like little actionable items that are kind of spread around your project that give Claude super capabilities?
I mean, it's, I think I see where they're going. So we're going probably to talk a little bit about it after, but there was this honestly amazing Doomer podcaster AI with Carpathy. So he's basically kind of Doomer in this podcast, but he's always saying super interesting things. But one of the things he's saying is right now, the way we are doing reinforcement learning with the models and including the tool calls, we are usually how reinforcement learning is working. You are trying 100 possibilities to solve a problem, and you're just throwing away 7 of it, and you're just keeping 3 that actually will satisfy the reward signal. And the problem with that methodology, that works. Right now, we know since the DeepSeek paper that reinforcement learning works. The only problem is you need to be able to solve a problem, but to solve a problem, you need to solve sub-problems. And that's what our brain is able to do. Like it's able to solve sub-problems. And right now, the models are not good at solving sub-problems. They are good at finding a big solution to a problem, but not really understanding how sub-problem resolution, how good a sub-problem resolution is. And I think here, MCPs and also Claude skills is a way to force the model to think about sub-problems. So every time you want to find the guidelines for your company, you could say, starting from 0, and you're always going to go through the website of your company. But maybe in this small skill, you would have like, you should look at that page, and you should think about this page and this page. And so if you're able to give solution to some sub-problems to your LLM, I guess you can just improve vastly the resolution of problem overall. You probably can improve like the efficiency of your LLM just using less tokens. Also the reliability. Anthropic is always having amazing ideas and it's not coming from nowhere. I think it's because it's a limitation of LLMs right now. They're just so bad at fixing big problems. So why not just giving them skills for sub-problems?
And maybe this actually cuts into Haiku because Haiku is an executioner. Maybe this paired with a Haiku allows you to build Excel sheets at a fraction of the cost because everything is loaded. By the way, maybe these are cached, meaning that these tokens are not going to cost you anything. If it's a Haiku cache, that stuff probably costs nothing.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, this is pretty cool. But I think this is more to do with people using the UI here instead of using the...
You cannot use it in the CLI or something?
You can use it in the CLI, of course, but in the CLI, you probably already have your MCPs, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of bearish on MCPs. I don't know. I think I saw that quote that MCPs is the only technology that has more developers than users. I feel like everybody actually used MCPs and created MCPs because it was so easy. Are you actually using MCPs nowadays in your workflows? Be honest.
Let me tell you how I'm using MCPs. Yes, I have a Laravel MCP that allows me to build my app and call tools that allows Claude to go into the database, allows Claude to list all of the commands that I have, list all of the classes, list all of the jobs. So this, like we were talking about, does not bloat the context. It has a tool calling capability that gets the information efficiently without having to think about grepping. So instead of grepping, use this tool. Boom, you got all you have, and then you can move on instead of spending a lot of tokens, a lot of time looking. So Laravel, you install Laravel Boost and you will triple your efficiency. Like, I'm telling you, that's one, right? I used an MCP in a real way to build a presentation, which is the Google Analytics MCP. I'm a guy who knows how to develop. I'm a guy who hates configuring shitty dashboards. I hate it. And I'm sorry to a lot of you out there, all right? But it's better to get the warning now, right? If your job was to configure, I don't know, Meta ads, Google ads, and the reason why you're still alive today is because the developer was like, their brain was agonizing and giving them big headaches because of where the fuck do I find this button that enables my campaign, which duplicates the campaign in another
Yeah.
region, because I don't know how to do that stupid administrative stuff. How do I charge it on a different credit card? Blah, blah, blah. I'm all of this stuff. How do I get all the users who did not sign in, but went to the login page, clicked on the back button? Like, you want that? It breaks my brain to know
Yeah.
how to do that with the UI. But guess what? I take out my dictator tool and I say, hey, I want all the users that did not sign in, that went to that page and clicked on the back button. Enter. Here we go. Boom. Tool calling, answer immediately.
But a question for
guy-
you.
That guy is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Remy, because you, like, let's take the example of the Laravel MCP. Did you instructed in your, I don't know, system prompts to use this MCP? Like, in your flow of development, did you instructed your thinking model to actually use it, or does the thinking model knows when to use it?
There's one thing about Laravel and about the PHP crowd is they're very smart and very efficient, and these people have created the best products out there.
Of course.
All you have to do is install Laravel Boost and run the command, and it will instruct Claude. It will do all the work itself. It will write the Claude.md file that uses the Laravel Boost commands.
Okay.
It will do it all by itself. It will auto build itself.
Okay,
It's beautiful.
You're saying that all the new MCP tooling is included
In the package.
inside the tooling. Okay, that's actually amazing. That's not what I have in React Land.
You would composer install it. In React Land, it would be the equivalent of npm install this MCP. Boom, it's all set up, and it would run the command. It would set everything up immediately.
Yeah,
that's what it would be the equivalent of. And then you would run, hey, test this component, and it would create a test perfectly. Like that. That is what things are at today with Laravel.
Okay.
So I'm saying they know the capabilities of an MCP. They know how to use it, and they build something absolutely beautiful. And for example, when you have a bug in Laravel, what you would do is you would maybe, let's say, you copy the bug, you put it in, you say, hey, I'm having this right now, and there's a MCP tool that calls it's clast log. There's an MCP that calls the last error log. So your Claude doesn't need to go and grab the log and put into cache the whole log. There is a tool that calls the specific last log, the specific last 2, 3, 4 logs. There we go. It's efficiency at its best.
I agree.
It's amazing.
I agree. It's actually amazing. How you describe it, I don't know if that works all the time, but
it works. It works all the time.
That's amazing.
You don't need to have a brain anymore. You can put a monkey and start writing code.
And actually, that's another question I would have for you, because I am a pure JavaScript guy, always doing anything JavaScript. So do you think right now, at the time of LLMs and all this amazing tooling, you actually need to learn PHP anymore? Like, do you actually need to learn PHP? No, you don't?
I don't think so. No.
That's cool. That's cool. Because it means you will adopt a tooling and not a language. Sounds great.
No, I think you don't. Seriously. You should try it out. You should try to build a backend. You do composer install Laravel Boost, and you start describing what you want, and it knows how to build the classes, how to build the jobs, how to build the migrations. It knows everything. It knows everything. And just one thing is that Laravel, before LLMs, they had all these tooling. That's the thing. They built the tooling before LLMs even existed. So you would have commands that you could call that would create a class, that would create a job, and it would be macros, right? It would create the class, write the whole class, and replace the title with the title of that you wanted. There would be a CLI for that. I don't know who's using that today. I think that's pretty useless with LLMs, but yeah, that's a good way. And like I was saying before, yeah, the analytics. What about Google Ads? How do I test my conversion? Just plug in the MCP, ask what the fuck is going on, and it's gonna tell you, hey, this ad is not converting. You want me to shut it off? Yes, shut it off right
Yes,
now.
sir.
And then there's no authentication bullshit where you have to call the admin and then there's some liberal arts person comes in to click a button to turn on an ad or an.
I can hear that you're salty. Maybe for previous business ventures.
I have a friend who told me today a monkey can run Google Ads. So I don't know. We got to get some monkeys to do some testing.
We need to create monkey AI.
Maybe we can replace a lot of but then they're gonna unionize. They're gonna the monkeys. They're not gonna like staying on a Herman Miller chair. You know.
Are you saying we should give AI to monkeys and put them on
No, but
Herman Miller chairs?
imagine we create like a transformer model that allows us to go from English to monkey.
Actually, there was this experiment in Google. They did this for dolphin language, and it actually works like 95% of the time to understand dolphins. But I think dolphins have a language that is understandable by humans. So it's not the case with monkeys, I think.
Yeah, but I think maybe monkeys have thoughts that you could use. Like if you have a Neuralink that is connected to the monkey's brain. No, but we could maybe, reignite some some Darwinism. We could do some. Yeah. What about if we bring back a Neanderthal and we put a Neuralink into that person? Maybe they will fuck us.
You just load into their context all the data, all the information.
Jesus, no, but like seriously, I think that they had more physical capability. We had massive brains, and they had small brains. They were, I don't want to use the word here, but that's why they got taken off the map. But what about if you inserted the brain power? Maybe they could have a chance today. I don't know.
If you talk purely about like, yes, physical, but we also have weapons. Recently, Anduril released the automatic aimbot, like for the soldier. And they automatically have the location of soldiers through drone. So the drone will show that the soldier is here and it's automatically shown in the eye of the soldier. So we are too good. We cannot be beaten right now.
Actually, do you have the video? I think it would be interesting to show that here. Do you have the video of the Anduril helmet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the helmet that Anduril has developed? For those who don't know, Anduril is a defense tech company that has a valuation which is unbelievable, knowing that they haven't commercialized anything. I don't think they have sold anything. It's mostly research.
No, they actually honestly, they actually sell. So basically they work a bit like Palantir, and I think they already have contracts, and they're already they're probably selling stuff that is not as impressive as this, but they're already selling stuff. They just don't have as big of contracts as Palantir has, but they do some money. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's this one. It looks kind of like this.
Yeah. So it looks crazy. It looks scary, I would say. But I think it's called the Eagle Eye. And if you put this on your head, you have maximum vision capabilities. You can see in the night, you can see heat, you can see enemies. They're traced on your helmet with a AI that's probably smarter than you on finding the target, right? And so, I'm seeing the same thing as you. So yeah, this is an enhanced perception here. You can see the enemy targets in the night with your friendly fire, so you don't shoot at them, right? It looks like a damn video game. It's crazy.
It's very like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Yeah,
that's insane. All of this is real time. It's got the what do you think is running on here? Like, is it a LLM model, or do you think this is a machine learning model?
No, I think it's a machine learning model. So you could see at the bottom right of the picture, it's enabled by a drone. So basically the drone maybe has a LiDAR or something, and the drone knows where the different elements in a scene are, and just retranscribing to yourself. Yeah, you can see on the bottom right. The Ghost X, you basically have this drone that is giving the information about where are your allies, where are your enemies, etc., etc. I think it's probably not hard to do, and I think it was like all technologies. We could have done it, I think, 5 years ago. The good thing is just somebody did it. Somebody actually did it and productionized it. So that's the difference.
I'm willing to make 100% bet here that the people that built this have at least 8 years in Call of Duty experience.
You also have a mini-map on the left. That's crazy. Exactly like in the video games.
You see that you have a mirror.
Yeah, rear view mirror,
as
yeah.
well. That's insane. That is really insane, man. And actually, if you think about it, this is a competition to commercial VR tech, because right here you're getting a lot of this information fed to you on the side, above, over the scene, where you can see markers and whatnot. We don't have that yet in commercial VR. Right here, you're selling. Well, we see that Meta is a partner, but we don't have this. Do we have this in commercial? I don't think so.
I think we do. No, I think we do. So I basically tried all the geek technologies, and I tried like a virtual headset, and the virtual headset nowadays are really good. Like they have I don't know how they do this, so it's Meta, but they really know where you are in the space. Like they have a lot of sensors, and they know, even if I have a really big room, they know where I am in the space. But also the Apple Vision Pro. The Apple Vision Pro can keep like information, 3D information of where you keep a screen. So if you want to keep a screen over your sink, you will have it with the Vision Pro. So I think all the technologies was already existing, and I just think Meta decided to be evil and sell it to Anduril.
Yeah, based Meta, I guess. But they'll sell to anybody. They'll sell to any cause.
The problem with weapons all the time is like, you could say it's immoral or anything, but the problem is like, if you don't do it yourself, the other country will do it before you, and it will be immoral that they have these weapons over you. So yeah, I think it's somehow we basically need to do it at some point.
This is crazy. If anybody wants to start building defense tech, now is the time to go. I think you would need a bit of funding here, but you can. It looks like it's fun in games now. If you are a Call of Duty person and you're like wasting on your sofa, just spending your time rotting your brain, I would say, why don't you just do it in real life? That would be hilarious, to build your own helmet and live the whole thing. Don't go out there and do crazy shit, but this tech is cool, It's super cool.
No, I think the end user, this is the end user, and it's also a demo. It looks really great. I just think like there's a ton of, like, here you have a vision model. Like there's a ton of like small model that you need to tweak, and a lot of problem in production. That must be not the most fun, to be honest. It's like working for SpaceX right now. Like SpaceX, probably you forgot like one small parameters, and like immediately the rocket explodes. It's really like precise engineering, and I think it's a lot of trial and error. It's not like us that can just vibe code shit. They can vibe code, I think.
With that said, I think we have come to the hour here on our podcast. It was actually super fun to talk this week. I didn't expect too much to mention here, but there were some pretty banger moments here. We're talking about the Haiku moment here. We're going to try this out and see if that's actually cost saver for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a bit about video. VO 3.1 for the creatives is definitely big upgrade to have. Sora 2, the longer videos, something to watch out for as well. Look to see if that context is maintained over the longer time frame. And then there's a lot of small things happening around the AI world, small but big. This Anduril thing I did see on Twitter. It was pretty big news. But yeah, that said, next week we have another pod where we will go into some more news. I think there's a lot to talk about in local LLMs that are hostable. I think that there's a lot that is going on in the background, which we can get into with Olama, or these inference services that allow you to have privacy. We can talk about privacy actually, because that's a big one. But yeah, great episode, everybody. I really love the energy here, and we'll see each other next week. Bye, everybody.